This is me, 2 years ago from now, getting very excited and a little bit animated over a game called Warmachine. A game I've still to this day never played, yet have always been really deeply fascinated by. However, even my excitement back then is kinda nothing to what it is right now. So back then in 2023, the reasons to be excited over Warmachine were many. At the time, the word on the street was that Privateer Press, the company who makes the game, were in their dying days and could fold any minute. So it was a huge surprise to see the announcement of a new edition, Mark IV. What's more, they also revealed that they were going to a fully 3D printed process for making the miniatures. And that was where my speculation started to get a little bit wild. Let me play you a clip.
A view that I don't fully agree with, but do entirely understand. But with home 3D printing in general being seemingly as common as owning a houseplant these days, and the quality of models that you can make at home ever increasing, this could be an opportunity for something huge. Privateer Press will just release the files.
And, well, fast forward to 2025 and Privateer Press do indeed seem to have gone. But what they did do before they went was sell their IPs to Steamforged Games. And that's kind of cool. Not only does that mean that Warmachine is very much still alive, but give me a crystal ball, because I must be bloody psychic. They're releasing the files. Ish. Now, it's not all quite as crazy as I hoped it would be. As of right now, you can't just 3D print everything you'd ever want for Warmachine. But there is already one playable army you can print at home. That's quite exciting. And not only are the models just absolute bangers, but if you get in there quick enough, they are completely free. This video is, as you might have gathered by now, sponsored by MyMinifactory, a frequent and returning sponsor of the channel. And they've asked me to tell you about this offer, but I'm kind of excited to tell you about it anyway, and probably would have done so as soon as I found out about it, because, well, this couldn't have come at a better time. Like most of you out there, I don't mind admitting that I get a juicy little serotonin hit right up my spine bone when it turns out that I'm right about something that I predicted. So obviously, when they reached out to sponsor a video, I jumped at the chance to talk to you about 3D printed Warmachine. But there is more to it than that. So, Steamforged are offering a free month of their tribe for Warmachine for anyone who signs up within April. By the time this video goes out, that'll give you about 2 weeks to do so. And that's pretty cool in and of itself, right? The April release contains this alternate sculpt for Captain Buck Hasker, and it's a nice little mini and something you wouldn't fart at for free. But there's quite a lot more meat to be found in the other parts, because this April release also includes a bunch of terrain. It includes base toppers and bases for them to go on, as well as some base and accessories. All this means that not only will your battlefields look dope, but your miniatures will look lovely stood on them. Oh, and they're not done. No, that's not it. Because during the free month, not only do you get the April release, but you also get the welcome pack that anyone would normally get when they sign up for the tribe. And that welcome pack is mental. Okay, first of all, you get this entire playable 30-point force from the Crix faction. You get themed terrain and accessories and basing bits for them. You get objective markers. You get upgrade packs for warjacks, which are like the big dreadnought things that you see in Warmachine. It ends up working out to like 130 STLs for actual free. Like, I signed up myself, it is free. So obviously I've put a link down below, and if you own a printer, it would be like really silly to not just go and grab this tribe anyway, free for a month, and just get some new models to play around with, right? But we're still not done with good news. I know, it's ridiculous. I haven't had a video with this much good news in it for ages. Because there is, as always with MyMinifactory, a painting competition to go along with this, and it's a pretty great one. All you have to do is download this lad for free and paint him to be in with a chance of winning. This is my attempt, just a couple of hours of messing around, to be honest. I'm obviously not entering the competition, that would be very naughty of me. But the prize pool for this one is 10,000 US shekels worth of gear. And as always, it includes 3D printers, it includes physical miniatures, it includes resin, vouchers, paints, so much stuff. Best part yet is you have until the end of June to get your act together, so plenty of time to paint something pretty juicy actually. Now, I have already started painting the bits from the welcome pack, and let me tell you, they are a delight. These are some really fun miniatures. I've only been shooting for something sort of a little bit elevated above tabletop level, really, you know, just having a bit of a play with them, but they're really, really fun to paint, and the sculpts are so crisp. They've also just got this really, like, creepy, doomy aesthetic to them, and I love it. It's my cup of tea. So, with my obligations to MyMinifactory taken care of, I can pat myself on the back, take my paycheck for this video, and now, hopefully, you'll allow me to talk to you a little bit more on a personal level about Warmachine, because the game is important. It's a game I've always really wanted to get into, and for some reason or another, the timing has just never lined up, and I think part of that is because there was always an air of uncertainty surrounding Warmachine, which, now that it's in Steamforged hands, is hopefully a thing of the past. With Steamforged starting to acknowledge the role that 3D printing can play, suddenly the game feels a lot more accessible. Now, what I personally want to see from them could end up being outside of their plans. I do appreciate that. And it is really the same thing that I wanted 2 years ago when Privateer Press made the announcement that they were going to move to a 3D printing process for the production miniatures.
Release the files.
Warcasters and Terrain Monthly is an awesome thing. It's really cool, and the 50% discount off of their store that you also get for being a tribe member is again really cool. But what I need, and I imagine a lot of people are probably going to feel similarly to me if they're interested in this video at all, is I need to be able to print and play armies at home. The Crix army that they've put in the welcome pack shows how awesome this could be if they go for it. This printed in one try, the auto supports were great, it was really easy, they did a fantastic job of it, the miniatures look production quality, because 3D printers are just so bloody good these days. Even this big guy here looks great, and well, generally bigger miniatures are the ones that show flaws when 3D printing. What I'm saying is, people will pay money for these files. They won't expect them necessarily, or they don't have to expect them to be part of the tribe. And I guess that's the interesting bit, and that's the bit that I kind of want to talk about on a personal level, because for me, I don't think that they need to release the armies, you know, the infantry, the characters, the solos, all that kind of thing. I don't think they need to be part of the tribe if the tribe gives you that 50% discount, because as a reward for subscribing to the tribe, you're presumably going to be buying the miniatures so much cheaper. I think people will just be fine with that. Like, if I was getting my Warcasters and my Terrain for my $10 a month, but also able to buy armies using the store with a 50% discount, that's going to make me way more long-term engaged, because if I want to change army at any point, I can kind of dig into my catalogue or my library on MyMinifactory, and I can grab those STLs and I can be like, let's print these guys off and give them a go. Let's see how they play, you know? If I want to add another character to my army, I haven't got to order it online or go down to a shop. I can just run a new copy off. And I think these kind of things encourage people to actually stay involved and switched on with games more for the long term, rather than just kind of dipping in for the initial hype of a new tribe and then walking away. Look, if Steamforged play this right, it could be the start of something massive, not just for Warmachine, but for miniature wargaming. Let's not forget, Warmachine was the first ever game to make a proper, meaningful and serious dent in the sales of 40k. Let's not forget that Trench Crusade has absolutely smashed all expectations and preconceptions of what a 3D printer friendly tabletop wargame can be and can achieve. Let's not forget that for years now, one-page rules have had a loyal following, printing and playing their miniatures and their games as an alternative to 40k. Steamforged, I beg you, release the files. Like, I don't want to say trust me, but trust me, it will be amazing. And look, that's all from me for this one. Link below to the tribe, link below to the painting competition. Get involved. Warmachine was a really big deal once upon a time, and I think it can be again. So let's go and take a look at it. Grab that free tribe for a month, see what you think of the miniatures, see what you think of the rules. The rules are on an app that's free. Like, you get everything, basically. You can literally play for free today if you just go and click a link and download some files and print them and clean them up and paint them. And yeah, all right, you get the point. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching, folks. I'll see you in the next one, and bye for now.